Thanks, Philip, and welcome to Today in Putnam County, where we talk about all the great things happening in our community. Hope you're having a great Saturday morning. My special guests today are Phil Schaller and Laura Clemons with the Putnam County Library. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Today's Library Day. We're going to talk about all the great things going on with our libraries in Putnam County. Phil, you're the director.
That's correct.
And Laura, you're the chairman of the board.
I am.
And so we're going to dig into some of the great events and things that happen in our library. Phil, I'm going to start with you.
All right.
I was amazed when I saw the number of 282,479 visits to the libraries in 1 year.
Correct.
That I would imagine before I got into the county mayor's position, not understanding all that goes on at the library. But you would think with technology and the internet and all those things that maybe library visits would be going down. But that's not the case, right?
That is not the case. We have so much to offer people, to everybody in this community, that there's always something that somebody can come in and use. A perfect example is free public internet and free public access computers. We have, I think, 26 public access computers.
Wow.
Just at the main branch, and all the other the Allgood and Baxter and Monterey branches all also have public access computers. So if you don't have internet at home, you can come into the library and use internet.
Laura, it's not just about the library in Cookeville. It's a whole system of libraries. We have one in each one of our cities, correct?
We do indeed. Yeah. I don't know who's more important sometimes, Cookeville or Monterey, or they're also important to each of the residents. And then we have a great relationship too with Tex Library.
So all those libraries, we have one in Allgood, Monterey, Baxter, Cookeville. Each one of them their own separate library, but they all fall under your board.
They do indeed. Yeah.
So I found another number pretty amazing. Just at the Cookeville branch, 31,000 people have a library card.
That's countywide.
That's countywide.
Yeah, so that's the whole
county.
system wide. But if you figure that there's approximately 77,000 people in the county, that's 40% of the county.
Almost half of the people in the county have a library card. And so, but the library's changed in the way that you do your recording of books and so forth.
Yeah, so we have the typical print materials, fiction, nonfiction. We have a whole room of genealogy books called the Tennessee Room at the main branch. So that's all kind of standard, but we have an increasing number of digital materials. And so what we've actually found is that our print materials, the circulation for those have kind of dropped a little, but there's a corresponding increase in the digital materials, and this is stuff like ebooks, audiobooks, stuff that you can download through some of our various databases that we have available.
Do you find it interesting that with today's internet, ebooks, all the many things that you can see online, you still have a lot of people coming in and checking out those hard copy books?
I don't find that. I mean, I do find it interesting. I don't find it surprising.
Okay.
Because almost everyone I talk to, they say, "Oh man, I really love the feel of a book. You know, I love the smell of the pages. I love turning the pages." So yeah, I find it not surprising at all that people still want to come in and check out books. And we have people that come in and check out stacks and stacks of books at a time. And we have a checkout period of 2 weeks, and they'll check out. We have a limit of 20 items you can check out, and they'll check out, close to those 20, and be back in 2 weeks having read all those books.
I've tried the ebooks where I'm listening to it, and not reading it, but somebody is just talking and reading that book. It's just not the same, is it?
It's not the same at all. A couple of board members and I were talking about this the other day about how much we love audiobooks, but we still buy hardcovers as souvenirs of our experience having heard those audiobooks. And of course you can do the same thing with the library.
Is the checkout process, does it still work about the same? Do you still have the little cards in the back of the books?
No, not quite. It's all computerized, so we have a barcode on the back of the book. We check it through the barcode scanner. It comes up on our point of sale program and gets added to your account, and that's pretty much it. We do still have those cards, and we still have a date stamper, so if you're nostalgic and you want your book stamped, we can still do that for you. But it is not necessary.
I remember that from my library days, and I have to say, I read a lot, It's just not normally books. It's all kinds of other government stuff that we have to do. But I remember that from my younger days in the libraries. That was always a neat thing to
The other thing,
check out books.
the other thing we no longer have from the old nostalgic days is that old school card catalog.
No card catalog.
No card catalog anymore. It's all online now. So we have a program. You can see it on our website. We have dedicated computers to it, where you just key in a keyword or an author or something, and it all comes up on that computer program and shows you where that book is and if it's checked out or if it's in or which branch it can be located at.
Technology.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And we're talking to Phil and Laura this morning on Today in Putnam County with the Putnam County Library. You have, not only do you have books and the internet and all those many things, you have meeting space at the library that is used a lot. I was amazed at that number also of how many events and so forth that you have at the library.
Yeah. I guess last year it was 828 total events, either hosted by the library or by outside parties who just need to use a meeting room. We have 3 spaces at the Cookeville main branch, and there's one at the Monterey branch library as well for people to use.
Be able to use those places, and a lot of your nonprofits, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, nonprofit agencies, they look for meeting space, and we have a lot in Cookeville, but in a lot of cases they have to pay for that, and the nonprofits, some of them don't have a lot of revenue, so it makes it nice to be able to have a space that you don't charge for, correct?
They're absolutely free. I think we had 77 different individual groups that used our meeting room spaces outside of what we normally use them for events and programs.
That's amazing. Let's talk briefly about funding. Folks may not know how the libraries are funded. First, we have a joint venture with the city of Cookeville. The library building in Cookeville is owned by the county. We put, and Phil, correct me if I'm wrong, over $500,000 into the
slightly, I think it's 504,000
into the library from the county. The city puts
350.
So there's a lot of public funds that are going into it. But at the same time, there's a lot of private funds that go into the library also that come in, and it's kind of a joint team effort to make the libraries work.
Absolutely, it is. We're really lucky. We have the Friends of the Putnam County Library group, our advocacy group, and they're advocates not only in communications but in fundraising. They raise a substantial amount of money every year, to all of which goes directly to library needs. So we're very fortunate in that way. At some point, we're looking at perhaps creating a foundation, which would give us even more fundraising possibilities. But other than our friends, I know that the library receives gifts, bequeaths from various
folks can donate
over the years,
and go straight to the library and
Yep.
be spent on the library. That's great. Hold that thought on those the Friends of the Library. I want us to talk more about that as we come back. You're listening to Today in Putnam County on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. I'm Randy Porter, your host. Coming up, more with Phil and Laura about our library, so stay with us.
There we go.
Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. We're having a great Saturday morning and also a great Memorial Day weekend. Today we're talking with Phil Schaller and Laura Clemons with the Putnam County Library. Guys, we got a lot of great programs at the library, but we've also, and we'll talk about those in a moment, we've done some big renovations at the library recently with some new study rooms and redoing the basement and so forth. Phil, you want to tell us about that?
Sure, yeah. Study rooms were something that we've been sorely lacking for a long time. We've gotten a ton of requests for people to have somewhere quiet that they can study, and the meeting rooms have their own special policies that you have to have a certain amount of people. So we were finally able to basically renovate a part of the library to make study rooms. We have 3 total study rooms. 2 of them are solely for studying and small groups to do projects and so on and so forth. The third one is for studying, but it's also our quote-unquote makerspace, and it's going to be our memory lab when we have all that sorted out and put together, which we're really excited about. The memory lab is going to be a place where you can take old photos, VHS, cassette recordings, and digitize them into newer formats.
That is amazing. We all have all these old photo albums or old VHS
Yeah.
tapes of our memories of our kids and grandkids around. So we're going to be able to do that
Yeah,
at the library.
so we've
now.
got all the equipment. We got the scanners and the VCRs and the other equipment to digitize that information. You can put it on a flash drive, put it on your computer. All that you'll need to do is come in, take some classes to certify yourself to be able to use our equipment, and then you come in whenever you want, make a reservation, and use that equipment, digitize your old memories.
So you're going to teach the people how to do it,
Mhm.
and then you're going to allow them to use the equipment at the library to be able to do it. Is there a
Yes.
cost to that to the members?
No, sir.
No, but it's free.
It is free.
That is amazing. You hear these advertisements on TV and radio all the time to send your old photos and old VHS tapes to them, and they'll do it at a cost, but we're going to have that at our local library.
Yeah, and talk
That's
about
right.
how valuable that is too. I mean, we all have these memories. We all need to preserve
Absolutely.
this information. It's invaluable.
That is great. That's a great service I didn't know about. Bill.
Yeah.
You haven't told me about that one yet. That's
I just snuck one in. on
that's
you.
great. And the library, of course, we put a new roof on the library a year or so ago, and we've done the renovations. The basement looks absolutely
Mhm.
great with the new renovations. So plenty of room for everybody to come out and enjoy the library on a day-to-day basis. You open at what time?
Monday through Friday we open at 9, and then
Okay.
on Saturdays at 10.
And then you stay open until.
So on Monday through Wednesday till 8, Thursday and Friday till 7, and then Saturday is 10 to 5.
Every time I go into the library, there's always folks. They're on the computers, they're sitting, going through, doing research on different things, reading, having the events downstairs in the basement. It's kind of its own little community.
It's
isn't
an
it?
active place, yeah. People who don't come to the library tend to ignore its relevance. They don't think that it's a relevant space anymore, but that couldn't be further from the truth. It's relevant to so many people in this community that need it for all the things that you just said. It's a great community space.
It is. One thing that's amazed me when we start kind of looking at the basics. I've always said everyone needs to have the availability of electricity, telephone, water. There's a lot of folks, though, in Putnam County that do not have internet access. You started a new program, renting out mobile hotspots.
Yeah, so we got a grant from the state library, and it allowed us to get mobile hotspots, which are basically a small little puck device that you can take home. You charge it up, and it gives you internet in your house. It basically acts the way your smartphone would act, how you can use that as a hotspot. It's got unlimited download.
Wow.
Unlimited data. We loan them out for a week at a time. Unfortunately, we can't put holds on them like we do normal materials, just because they're in constant demand. And we only have 3 per branch as of right now. So we're looking to expand that. The more we can get, the more people we can serve. But yeah, it's a great program, and everybody that's borrowed it out, it doesn't work for everybody, because there are some spots where
Depending on where you're at in the county.
where it just you just don't get service. But there's a lot of people who either can't afford the service, or the service won't, they can't get lines out to where they're at, and it works for them, and they love it, and it's great.
So they may have a child that's in school, needing to do some research, needing to do a paper, needing to have internet access, Laura, so they can physically, the parents can come to the library, rent one of these hot spots, and have it for a week to be able to have internet access for the kids.
And that way they can do that work together as a family at home. As much as we want to see them at the library, it's really great to do that kind of
To
work
be
at
able to
home.
have it at
too.
home and
Yeah.
create that family,
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Tell us about the summer reading program. That's a big thing coming up, so I'll let y'all tag team that one and tell us about it.
Yeah, so summer reading program, it's a great program. It's a national program. Pretty much every library, every public library in the country participates in the summer reading program. The idea is that when kids are no longer in school for the summer, they have what's called the summer slide. Excuse me. And because they're not reading or learning, they kind of drop their education level.
Right.
So what the libraries try to do is get the kids to come in, keep reading, keep learning, so that when they go back to school in the fall, they haven't had that summer slide and they're ready to pick right up where they left off. So every year there's a theme. This year the theme is space, universe of stories. is actually the title of the theme.
Okay.
And so we started our registration yesterday. We had a big kickoff party in the park in Dogwood. And but you can still register for it. You can come to any one of your branches and register for the summer reading program. It's for all ages, even 0 to 3-year-old kids. We've got stuff for them. Smaller kids, teenagers, even adults can come in and participate in the summer reading program. We have events that are always going on. Things like movie nights. We have one of our most popular is Bob Tarter and his animal show. He comes in every year. We have science programs where they run through experiments and stuff like that. So all sorts of programming. You can we have reading logs that you can fill out. You come in, you read, you fill out your reading logs, you get prizes for reading. So it's a really great program, and it lasts till about mid-July. And at the end, we're going to have a big end of the year end of summer reading party at the skating rink.
Oh wow!
It's a lot of fun, and you'll have a good time.
So when does it start? When's the starting date for this?
It started yesterday. May 25th or 24th.
So is it every day or so many days a week?
Yeah, it is constantly running.
Okay.
So you constantly can participate by reading and filling out your reading logs, and then we have special events at various
That are
times.
scattered out
Yeah,
during
scattered
the time.
out. And we have, so you can go to our website, pclibrary.org, and you can download or you can look at the schedules that we have for each branch. We're also going to be running a Food for Fines program during this during the month of June, which is pretty much you come in, you can donate canned goods and get some of your fines taken off if you have accrued fines already.
Nobody has any fines.
Nobody has.
Nobody would keep a book longer than they need to.
No. There generally there's not too many fines out there. But just in case that you do accrue
Just
fines,
in case you do, you can bring in some canned goods.
Yeah, you can give back to the community and get those fines taken off.
That's some great programs, and we got several more we want to talk about when we come back. You're listening to Today in Putnam County on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. I'm Randy Porter, your host. More with Phil and Laura when we come back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. Hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. Today we're talking with Phil and Laura with the Putnam County Library. We're talking about a lot of the great programs and events and so forth that you have going on at the library. One is online databases. Phil, can you tell us about that? And I know the internet has changed the way that we work and live on a day-to-day basis, and it's also changed the way the library works also.
Sure. Yeah, we've got a number of online databases that you can access either from home through our website or actually at the library on our public access computers. So I'll go through them individually. The first one is called READS. It stands for Regional Ebook and Audiobook Distribution System. And that is something provided for by the State Library and Archives. And it is a database of ebooks and audiobooks. You can download these. All you need is your library card. And you can get up to 15 ebooks or audiobooks on your account at a time.
Oh, wow.
You can read those on your computer, your tablet, your phone, anything. And so that's a super awesome service that we offer. And akin to that, a brand new one that we have is called RB Digital. We just got that in. And this is sort of like Reads. It's audiobooks and ebooks. The part that we have is for juveniles and young adults.
Okay.
And the difference between RB Digital and Reads is that these books have this database has a multi-user, simultaneous user access, which means in Reads only one person can have a copy of the book at a time.
Right.
Here, anybody that's on there can simultaneously have the book at one time.
So 50 could have it at one time.
50 could have it at one time, which is great for kids in school doing projects
Right.
who all have to read the same book.
What a great resource.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. So another one that we have is Ancestry.com. I think everybody pretty much knows what Ancestry is.
Figure out your genealogy.
Exactly, yeah. So the Ancestry is the only one that you have to be in the library to use. You can't access that one remotely from home. So you have to be in the library. We have an actual dedicated Ancestry computer in our Tennessee room and our genealogy room that you can use, or you can use it on the public access computers. But like I said, everybody pretty much knows what Ancestry is. You go in there, you can find
great.
birth records, death records, census records for people in your family.
It's great to have all those resources where you don't have to physically come to the library on a lot of them. You can actually check them out on your website.
Do them from home. And my personal favorite is called TEL, which stands acronym for Tennessee Electronic Library. It's another one provided by the State Library and Archives out of Nashville. It is what I tell people a database of databases. So what this has in it is you can get homework help. So it's got a bunch of databases for scholarly journals, magazines, book reviews, that sort of stuff that's going to help you on your homework from age, first grade all the way all the way to college. It's got test prep, which is really helpful. So you can take test prep for GRE, ASVAB, nursing tests, any of those vocational tests that you need, any of the school tests. They have test prep software on there. Again, all this is free of charge.
All is free of charge
Yep.
to the patrons.
They have what's called the shoot, I forget the actual name of it, but it's basically resume help and job finding. You can look for local jobs. You just type in some keywords, kind of what job you're looking for, and it'll give you a rundown of everything in a certain mile radius that's
available,
that fits what you're looking for, that's available, that has openings, and it also has built in a resume builder. So you can, not only does it have a place where you can build your own resume, but it has examples of
drafts of showing you how to do a resume.
Exactly, sample resumes and stuff like that.
Well, that falls right into our economic development in Putnam County. We're growing so much with all these new jobs, and there's a lot of jobs available in Putnam County. You just have to know where they are and be able to create a resume to be able to apply for them.
Yeah.
So you're helping our economic development.
Absolutely, and like I said, you can do all this at home. Just you sign into our website, you go to pclibrary.org. There's icons at the bottom that have all of these databases on them. And if you need help, you can call us. You can schedule one-on-one help sessions, and we can help you through it all.
Wow, that's
you
great.
You can come in and we can show you how to build resumes. And not only that, but normally when somebody comes in to use our computers and has to print, it's 15 cents a page, but if you're printing up resumes, it's absolutely free.
Wow, that is great. Laura, in the short time we have left,
Yes.
I want to be able to talk about your board.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 9-member board that
We do.
oversees the library, so can you talk about that a little bit, who they are?
Absolutely. This is a great group of people who are a cross-section of all demographics in our county. I'm very proud to say that. We have an attorney, we have a professor, we have two school teachers, just a lot of really great people who work really hard to be, I like to call us unpaid volunteers. We're unpaid staff.
Right.
But we do try to.
You do a lot of work. Yeah.
We do a lot of work. We've been really obsessed lately with a strategic planning process, which is really us asking senior staff to look within and try to think about the best ways to improve the library over time. That's been one of our more current projects. I'd like to go back for just a second to economic development.
Okay.
So the flip side to all those new jobs that are coming into the county is that people need to, A, know about those jobs, which Phil has told us how we can find out about some of those, but also to apply for some of those jobs, because increasingly we're seeing digital use. We're seeing having to apply online. I was outside the library a couple of months ago waiting. There were several of us waiting to get in. And one woman was there. She said she was scared. She said she was going to have to apply for a job for the very first time online. She didn't have a computer. So she's here at the Putnam County Library to do that, but she's still frightened because she doesn't really know how to do it. She's afraid to do that. And I'm like, you know what? You are going to be so fine, because you're going to walk in that door and there's going to be a great person who's going to say, sit down and let me teach you how to do that.
And that's great.
Yeah,
It's amazing that the help that you're able to provide to the citizens. The library's a great place, and I'm going to say to both of you, you both do a great job, and I appreciate what you do to make our libraries great, and I appreciate you being on the show this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you too.
Phil Schaller and Laura Clemons with the Putnam County Library, they do a great job, and I appreciate them. It's now time for What's Happening, the part of the show where I keep you informed of some of the special events going on in Putnam County. Memorial Day, Monday, May 27th at 11 a.m. We have our special ceremony on the courthouse square. We'll be honoring the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Congressman John Rose will be the guest speaker. Also Memorial Day at 7:30 p.m. in Dogwood Park, the Coupal Community Band will have a concert. It's free. It's for a family event sponsored by the Coupal Leisure Services. Also, Friday, May the 31st at 2 p.m., we have the grand opening of one of our new businesses. It's called Coupal Bullseye on 480 South Old Kentucky Road. Friday, May the 31st at noon, the Major Market Scavenger Hunt starts at the Biz Foundry on North Cedar Avenue. Saturday, June the 8th at 7:38 a.m., 31st Annual Kids Fishing Tournament at Cane Creek Park. Great event sponsored by the Cookville Leisure Services, and it's free. And that's today's What's Happening. For more details on any of these events, go to my website, randyporter.org, or my Facebook page for more details. And finally, this morning, I'll leave you with some things to think about. I had the opportunity to be involved with a mock exercise this week that tested our emergency medical services on stroke victims. This debilitating medical issue affects thousands of people every year. Due to my many years of being a paramedic, I was asked to play the part of a stroke patient. They wanted the exercise to be as real as possible, so I played the part. It started off with me passing out and waking up paralyzed on my left side. Our paramedics started the stroke protocol, treated and transported me to Cookville Regional Hospital. There I went straight to a CT scan of my brain, which revealed a large blood clot. I was immediately given TPA, which is a clot-busting drug. Vanderbilt helicopter was notified. In a short time, I was on my way to Vanderbilt. Arriving at Vandy, I was met by a whole team of doctors, nurses, and other specialists who quickly took me to CT for a more higher-level scan and into the operating room for the blood clot to be removed. This whole process, from the time the stroke happened till I was in Vandy with the doctors removing the clot, was only 3 hours, which is absolutely amazing. This just reiterated to me what I have known for many years. We have a great emergency medical program in our community. From our local paramedics, Cookville Regional doctors and nurses, Life Flight helicopter crew, and Vandy nurses and doctors, they all did a great job in this mock exercise. I can assure you they are prepared when the real strokes happen. What a great group of compassionate individuals. And finally, as you go about your Memorial Day weekend, don't forget to pause and remember why we celebrate Memorial Day. It's in honor of all those individuals who gave the ultimate sacrifice so that we can enjoy all the freedoms we cherish in our country. That's our show for today. I want to thank my guests, Phil and Laura from the library, for being here. Hope you'll join us every Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Today in Putnam County on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. You can also download the WHUB app and listen to us on your cell phone. If you missed any of our shows, go to my website. We have them all there for you. I'm County Mayor Randy Porter, hoping you have a great rest of your Saturday, and may God continue to bless our great county.